Hello all, how are you doing? First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Goodman for allowing me to speak on behalf of the company about our transition into the global marketplace. As for myself, my name is Matthew Koch. I'm a research consultant for Powerful Systems Incorporated and been with the company for about 2 years now. The reason I was brought here to speak with you today is to discuss the main differences between work life, everyday life, certain values and customs that one will experience while living and working in China. As you all know, our company is transitioning to China. With a GDP of $1.2 trillion and a population of over 1.3 billion, the People's Republic of China has led all other developing nations in attracting foreign direct investment over the last 3 decades. I assure you there is not another better place to transition our company than to China. Some things you need to know, though, while working and living in China every single day are such things as everyday life, your greetings, what your work will be, how to set up meetings, how to conduct meetings, etc., etc. What you must know, though, is China was built on Confucianism's 7 core values, as I have them listed here in the slide. The Chinese believe that China is where it is today and has been for the past 2,000 years is based solely on the fact of these 7 core values. With these values instilled into a household or a business alike, businesses and households will thrive. Without these values, however, they will falter and not succeed. Some points on everyday life in China. As some of you may or may not know, buses and taxis will be your main source of transportation, but you have to watch out for the bicyclists because they are everywhere. Bicyclists actually in some rural areas of China outnumber the number of vehicles. Some other things you need to learn is that in China, PDA is absolutely unacceptable. PDA is considered rude, offensive, and should only be done in the confines of your own home. Another thing is, everyday life is actually quite similar to everyday life here in the United States. The clothing style is increasingly becoming more similar. It's a lot of Western style clothing. You will still find your fast food chains like McDonald's or Starbucks or Wendy's. You can still go to your local Walmart, although their fish section may be a little different than you're used to. Moving on. Greetings. How do you greet someone in China? How do you greet a stranger? Well, contrary to popular belief, however, in China, unlike the Japanese, they do not bow for greetings. They reserve bowing specifically for elders and people in respect. However, a simple hi or hello, how are you doing, is perfectly acceptable. However, if English is a problem, then you can learn simple phrases such as ni hao, hello in China, and other phrases like how are you doing. If those don't work, a simple wave or smile is always fine. Over the last couple of decades, handshaking is increasingly becoming more accepted in the Chinese culture. Used to, you could not touch. No touching whatsoever. Touching is considered rude and offensive. But now, as China's transitioning into the new global marketplace as well, they have become more accepting of handshakes. While working in China, big difference from working in China and working in the United States. In China, 12-hour workdays are completely normal. That is what they do. The Chinese pride themselves in working hard, long hours. The Chinese people are very punctual people. So whatever you do, make sure you are on time to every meeting, to every discussion, to everything. If you are late, then you will lose face or respect. Also working in China, it is normal for people to have naps, or to have nap spaces set up in their offices. Break rooms will have cots and like little beds for people to sleep on during their long days. Women in China have been working almost on the same level as men for the past 60 years. I think it's 45% of the women in China are now employed, which is drastically different from 100 years ago when Chinese women were not able to work. Now almost Chinese women are encouraged to work, and companies offer incentives such as mother plans and such. Setting up meetings is going to be your hardest part while working in China. In order to set up a meeting, you're going to have to go through a third party. You must go through a third party. The Chinese will not conduct business with a stranger, or if they have no way of checking your liability. So in order to do that, you have to establish a relationship with a third party or an intermediary. Once you have the meeting set up, it is time to conduct the meeting. Meetings in China are also very different than meetings in the United States. For the first part, meetings should never be held outside of the office. So business discussions should not go to social events or meals. Very different from the United States. While conducting meetings, however, you cannot have direct eye contact with the people you are talking to, because they consider this rude. And while talking to them, stand in a passive manner with your arms folded or your hands in your pocket. You would think that's rude from here in the United States, but in China it's a very passive way of saying, I'm here to do business, and that's it. Conducting meetings you have to have a lot of patience to work with the Chinese people. They look over documents for months and months and months and for proposals. It can take even 6 months for an answer sometimes. Also, when conducting business, the Chinese are very indirect people. This comes to a shock because us Americans like yes-no answers, and Chinese believe that saying no straight out is rude. So they'll say things such as, well, maybe, we'll see, we'll get back to you. Do not take this as an opportunity to say, well, there's a chance it could be yes, because if they say this, then it always means a no. Almost always means that no. For my conclusion, I want you to be very aware of the differences that are in China and in the United States. For if you do not take these differences into consideration, you will lose relationships and will not be able to conduct successful business ventures. Remember, when you're over in China, that you are representing not only yourself, but our company, Powerful Systems Incorporated. It is up to you for the future of our company. The future of our company, in order to expand into the global marketplace, depends on you sitting in the audience, on how you conduct and how you go about your everyday life over there in China. Keep that in mind, because this is very important. That about concludes my discussion. I would like to thank Mr. Goodman for allowing me to come speak to you on behalf of our company. At this time, I would like to take any questions. What is that? Yes. Okay, we had a question from the back saying, how is technology different from in China and the United States? Technology in the business world does not vary very much from the United States. I mean, sure, you'll have your companies that are overload, tech heavy, but some companies, a majority of the companies, will have just a few simple computers, that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. So the whole technology thing, it shouldn't be too much of a concern for you, because it's really not that big of a difference. It's just like if you were working at a business office here in the United States. Any more questions? Okay, well, I think that's about it. Thank you again for having me. I hope you enjoyed my discussion, and good luck in the next 6 months of our company. Thank you very much.